social, religious, and military causes that contributed to the revolt of 1857. In this session, you will see the major events that formed a part of this revolt. Can you guess the well-known immediate cause of the revolt of 1857? The immediate cause of the revolt was the introduction of cartridges greased with cow and pig fat. Hindu and Muslim sepoys felt that the government was trying to defile their religion. On March 29, 1857, the first uprising occurred at Barakpur, led by Mangal Pandey. On 9th May 1857, 85 soldiers in Meerut refused to use the new cartridges. They were sentenced to 10 years rigorous imprisonment. On 10th May, the sepoys at Meerut stormed the jail to free their comrades. The sepoys from Meerut then marched to Delhi. In May 1857, they captured the city and proclaimed Bahadur Shah Zafar the Emperor of India. Bahadur Shah was coerced into writing letters to all the Indian rulers, urging them to organize a confederacy of Indian states to fight against the British. Imagine you're an Indian ruler who received this letter from Bahadur Shah. What stand would you take, and why? Inspired by the capture of Delhi, rebellions broke out across the northwestern province, central India, and western Bihar. In May 1857, in Lucknow, the uprising was led by Begum Hazrat Mahal, the wife of the Nawab of Awadh. The sepoys in Lucknow were joined by the disbanded soldiers of the old Awadh army, as well as the talukdars and peasants. In Kanpur, Nana Sahib led the revolt. The British surrendered in June 1857. In the meanwhile, in Jhansi, Rani Lakshmibai led the revolt. At Bareilly, Khan Bahadur, a descendant of the former ruler of Rohilkhand, took command of the movement. In Bihar, the struggle was led by Kunwar Singh, the zamindar of Jagdishpur. At Faizabad, the leadership was taken by Maulvi Ahmadullah, who roused the Muslim community against the British rule. In several Indian states, although the rulers remained loyal to the British government, the soldiers rose in revolt. The British were outnumbered and defeated by the rebel forces in numerous battles. Many Indians believed that the British rule had collapsed. In 1957, the British recovered Delhi. Sir John Nicholson surrounded and captured the city. Bahadur Shah was sentenced to life imprisonment in Rangoon. His two sons were shot dead. Thus, the Mughal dynasty came to an end. A reign of terror followed. Thousands of innocent people were massacred and hundreds hanged without a trial. The British moved on to squash the revolt in the other centers. In December 1857, Kanpur was recaptured. Nana Sahib fled for his life. The British moved on to capture Lucknow in March 1858. Begum Hazrat Mahal fled to Nepal. In the meanwhile, Sir Hugh Rose laid siege to the fortress of Jhansi in March 1858. Rani Lakshmibai resisted, but Jhansi was captured in April 1858. The Rani escaped and joined Tantia Top at Kalpi. Rani Lakshmibai and Tantia Top captured the fort of Gwalior. On June 17, 1858, the Rani died fighting the British at Gwalior. Tantia Top was betrayed by the Gwalior chief Man Singh and hanged on April 18, 1859. By July 1858, the revolt had been crushed and the British had regained control over India. Although the revolt of 1857 failed, it is recognized as India's first war of independence. It was the greatest armed challenge to colonial rule during the 19th century, attracting Hindus and Muslims from all walks of life. It triggered demands for radical social and economic reforms in Indian society. Your memory on the main events of the revolt of 1857.